Hi, my name is Jack, and welcome to your Health Academy. If this is the first time you are visiting our channel, make sure to watch the last video in this course to make as much possible benefit. And hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications. In this video, we're gonna see part 2 of the mindset of weight loss. So, let's go. 7. You don't have a sense of urgency. Depending on your goals, not having a sense of urgency when it comes to change can hold you back from making real progress. If you're committed to making a lasting change and losing fat for good, you must believe that every choice matters. I'm not talking about occasional treats or missing the odd workout here and there. I'm talking about the day-to-day consistency and work that must be done to see results. Having the mindset that you'll do it later isn't going to get you where you want to go. Remember, little efforts repeated day in and day out add up to big change over time. If you're not putting those little efforts in, don't expect big results. The time is now, and time is not an unlimited resource, so making each choice count is important. Trust me, those small choices add up. Let's ask this question again: how would you feel if a year went by and you were in the same spot as you are now? Little things, done consistently, is what you need to focus on. Do it now, do it now, do it now. To change something, you're going to have to change. Remember that famous quote about the definition of insanity? 8. You're letting the scale rule your efforts. Monitoring your body weight may or may not be helpful in your weight loss journey. We can get so wrapped up in seeing that number go down every day, but weight loss will never be a linear process, and if the scale isn't moving, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not making progress. If you find the number on the scale is negatively affecting the effort you give, then use other methods of measuring your progress. Take measurements, set fitness goals, or have your body composition measured. Our weight can fluctuate day to day based on hormones, water, workouts, and many other factors, so it's not always the best measure of success. I weigh almost the same now as I did 2 years ago, but I look completely different. Muscle weighs more than fat, so that's why we keep talking about fat loss and not weight loss. You want to keep that hard-earned muscle, don't you? I can honestly say that my body weight does not determine how I feel about myself. I just don't care. If I'm working hard and staying committed to the process, I know that my body and health are where they should be. Seeing a particular number on the scale, whether it's higher or lower than what I used to think it needed to be, is never going to change my level of self-worth. It hasn't always been this way though. Stalls in my weight or seeing the scale go up after I'd been working like crazy used to crush me. If my weight stalled for a couple of days, it would cause me to throw in the towel and just eat whatever I wanted, because who cares, it's not working anyways. This is crazy talk. This was old mindsets, limiting beliefs, and letting my ego be the boss. Don't let the number on the scale determine how much effort you give. Track your weight if you must, but don't let that number hold the power of your self-worth or determination on any given day. You've got to get to a place where this all comes out of love, respect, and kindness for yourself, or no matter how much weight you lose, nothing is going to change. 9. You're not being mindful. This was another huge change for me. I felt like before I started working on these fat loss mindsets, I was often out of control when it came to food. I was on autopilot and not even tasting or noticing the food I was eating. I knew I had to become more mindful. I believe mindfulness to be one of the most important mental strategies on this list. Our society is moving at an all-time rapid pace. We work longer, sleep less, watch more TV, and are susceptible to more options for convenience than ever. We've moved so far away from family-style meals and mealtime as a sacred moment to nourish our bodies and spend time with loved ones, even if that's just ourselves. The food we eat is everything. It fuels us, nourishes us, heals us, builds us up, and energizes every cell in our bodies. If we can't slow down and be mindful of what we're eating, I don't think we're living as deeply as we could, even if it's taking a moment to be thankful for the opportunity to eat well. Before you eat something, stop. Breathe. Close your eyes. Do you need that food, or are you filling some other void? Using mindfulness techniques has given me so much freedom. If I'm bored or restless in the evenings, I don't have to grab something from the fridge and scarf that food down without even really noticing it. I've also really worked on being mindful of how full I am and how I feel, which has helped me learn to stop eating before it's too much. Guys, I've done it 1,000 times. I go into the kitchen, not the least bit hungry, open the fridge and grab the first thing I see. I just want something. Anything. I might be procrastinating from other work or feeling restless or bored. Food is not the answer to these emotions. It's taken a lot of work on this, and I still find myself venturing into the kitchen when I don't need food. When this happens now, I stop. I breathe. I take a moment to think about what I'm doing, and this helps me notice those old patterns and catch myself. 10. You're obsessed with results. I think this is such a huge factor when it comes to making a permanent change. We can become obsessed with some endpoints and feeling like we're working so hard but not getting any results. It's so important to accept where you're at and just focus on the day-to-day process and systems of fat loss. The day-to-day is your life, and if you're always counting on some future number on there to make you happy, you will never be happy. Forget the results. Forget some future body or a specific number that you think will make you happy. When you're too focused on some result or idea of where you should be, it can also take away from how far you've come. When I first started tracking macros a couple of years ago and I look back at the progress photos from the end of that period of consistency, I looked incredible. The crazy thing is I was so caught up with results that I couldn't see it at the time. I couldn't recognize how far I'd come. I needed to be leaner or get down to some certain weight before I'd be happy. My self-worth was so tangled up with body image that even though I'd achieved amazing results, I still wasn't happy. Every time I looked in the mirror, I'd look at my stomach or my arms or my legs, instead of seeing myself as a person, a whole human body who is loved for much more than that. Now I understand that I have to focus on where I am each day, really seeing myself and just appreciating how far I've come. I have to be on the journey. I know one day I'll look back at pictures of myself now and think, wow, look how young and beautiful and fit I was. I don't want to look back with the regret of knowing I didn't love myself. It brings me to tears to think about how long I fought with this body. Be present and focus on the process, because that process is your life, and if you're constantly focused on some arbitrary destination, you're going to miss the journey. You have to work to love yourself and love the process, or nothing will change when you do get where you want to be. Obsessively focusing on numbers, on the image of yourself in the mirror, or thinking life will be different after you hit a certain number on the scale can be very counterproductive. This doesn't mean you shouldn't keep working hard or that you'll never be able to change. It means that you must let go of obsessing over reaching specific goals. If you want to get better at anything in life, you must fall in love with the process of doing it. You have to fall in love with the work rather than just dreaming about the results. If you focus on the practice, the results will be there before you know it. While weighing in can help monitor your progress, it's important not to associate the number on the scale with self-destructive thoughts. The scale does not define your worth as a human. If you find weighing yourself is negatively affecting your attitude and effort, then don't use it until you're at a place where the number isn't going to determine how you feel on any given day. 11. You have an all or nothing mindset. This is such a common problem when people are typing to lose weight, and I struggled here too. If I made a healthy treat for the blog and had one, I'd end up eating them all because I couldn't get back on track until they were gone. I'd just start again after that. You know what I'm talking about. You eat a cookie and all of a sudden it's 3 days later and you've been off the rails ever since. You have to give up on black and white thinking when it comes to weight loss. Remember, something is always better than nothing. If you have a bad day or meal, move on immediately. Let it go. Dwelling on it will not serve you in any way. It's like dropping your cell phone then just smashing it entirely, or getting a flat tire then replacing all four instead of just fixing the flat. Maybe you go out for dinner Friday night, go a little overboard, and instead of getting back to healthy eating on Saturday morning, you decide to go off the rails all weekend and start again Monday because, in your mind, you've already ruined everything. Can you see how this kind of thinking will completely halt your progress? Small mishaps are completely normal. This journey is never going to be perfect, there is no such thing. Instead of beating yourself up, you could just truly enjoy the Friday night meal, then continue your healthy habits for the rest of the weekend, helping to create some balance instead. That one meal isn't going to have a big effect on your results if you just move on. By giving up the mentality that one meal or one day is going to ruin all our hard work is how we can ultimately find balance and make room to enjoy our favorite meals and treats on occasion. By learning how to incorporate these treats into our lifestyles without using them as an excuse to blow off our healthy habits for days on end, we can maintain balance long term, while still working towards our goals and enjoying all that life has to offer. I think people tend to fall into an all or nothing mindset with fitness too. Remember though, something is always better than nothing. Maybe you a hard day at work and just don't feel like you can make it to the gym for the intense workout you had planned. Instead of doing nothing and beating yourself up over it, go for a walk, or just get to the gym and do something, anything. Those days when you don't feel like it but do something anyways. That's where the good stuff is. Keep building and strengthening those good habits. With it comes confidence. With this in mind, remember not to be too hard on yourself. Redefine your definition of wins to recognize the small changes you are making. You don't have to completely change overnight. Recognize small steps as wins, and let those build your confidence, one small win at a time. It's also important to not take on too much at once. This can overwhelm us, and when we don't follow through with the 20 things we were trying to change, we give up. Focus on one thing at a time, recognize those small wins, and just keep going. There is power in small change. It's unavoidable that at some point during your journey you're going to take a few steps backward. This is normal and okay. All that matters is that you give up that all or nothing mindset and just keep going. In the past, I'd put such an immense amount of pressure on myself to be perfect. As you can imagine, this would crush me time and time again. I would just fall back into the negative cycle of restrict, binge, change my approach, fail, restrict, binge. There is no such thing as perfect, so give up on that idea and start doing what you can, with what you have, at any given time. And forgive yourself, over and over and over. 12. You keep changing things. Time to talk about patience again. It will take time for your body to adjust to a new nutrition plan, so be patient and don't keep changing things after you don't see results in a week. If you've been struggling with yo-yo dieting over the years, most likely your metabolism is going to take a little while to sort itself out. I've gone periods where I didn't lose a single pound in 5 weeks, but I kept going and eventually things started to move. We tend to focus on information over implementation. We keep changing strategies instead of taking action. We have all this information, but unless we start consistently applying it, we're never going to get anywhere. You don't need anyone else to give you the answers. Just start taking action today, right now, and just stay the course. Consistency and action are much more powerful than any specific diet or fitness program. Just keep your head down, do your own thing, and keep going. So, we have finished this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video informative and actionable. If you got some value out of it, don't forget to hit that like button, and then subscribe for more videos. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions. See you in the next video.